In this demo, we're going to be looking at the installation of Windows 10 client operating systems for CNOS module. There's two virtual computers that needs to be installed in the Azure Virtual Labs. The first computer is going to be called, now what am I looking at? I'm looking at the assignment 1 document. So we've got a document that is called Client Systems Configuration, which I got from student material. It says it's a practical assignment, and I'm going down to question 2.1. So I'm going to be discussing 2.1, which is the installation of the client operating system. Once I have done the installation, then only can I continue with the rest of these activities, which is 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. It's important to do the activities in the order in which it is given to us. How do I install the operating systems? Firstly, I need to go to Azure Virtual Labs. So I open up Azure Lab Services, and I can see that I've got HSU. I go into my HSU, I click here to say that it's running, and then I click on this link here so that it downloads a file that looks like this. This we have done in a previous demo or last week. I click on this, and then it connects to my lab. Once I have successfully connected to my lab, it comes up and it looks like this here. So can you see there at the top, I can see I'm connected to a virtual computer. What I want to do when I'm here in this virtual computer is I'm going to restore down like this. So I can clearly see that this is the virtual computer I'm working on in my Azure Labs, and this is my normal computer that I've logged onto. Can you see the difference? Yes. When I'm taking screenshots now, if there's something that I want to take a screenshot of, like this one here, I can just maximize it a little bit. And then where's all of the different bars, etc. I can see there's the virtual computer. Inside this Azure Lab, I'm also going to create additional virtual computers, which we're going to do just now. I'll show you how to take screenshots later, but basically I'm not going to take the screenshot inside here. I'm going to take the screenshot inside here. How do I take screenshots? I use the program snipping tool. How do I open the program snipping tool? I press the Windows key on my keyboard. It brings up this menu, and then I type in SNIP, snip, and then it shows there's my snipping tool. Then I press enter. It will open up my snipping tool. Before I take a snip of something, right, or a screenshot of something, I click to open it. So let's say I wanted to take a screenshot to prove that I've installed, that I've connected to this HSU lab. What I will do now is I'll click on the snipping tool. I'll click on new snip, and then I'll drag. I'm going to left click, and I'm going to drag across, holding the left mouse button down. And when I release it, it will then take a screenshot and put it inside here. I can then take the screenshot and I can paste it in a Word document or any other place. How to paste in a Word document? I'll press my Windows key again on my keyboard. I can see there's the Word application here. So I'm going to click on the Word application. I'll create a blank document. Remember, when naming each of my documents, I always need to name it correctly. So when I'm talking about naming a document correctly, I will say, for example, I want to save this document. I'll go to File, Save As, and I give it a name that will say Subair. So I know it's me. What is this document? It is my CNOS Azure Lab. Azure Lab, right? So just by looking at the document, I can see it's my document, which module, CNOS, what is it about, Azure Lab. And then I'm going to save it. Okay, then I press the Control key on my keyboard. I'm holding it down, and then I press the letter V, which is to paste. Alternatively, I could have also just gone here and say paste, and then I could have pasted the picture like this. So you can either use your keyboard shortcut, which is Control C to copy, Control V to paste, right? Control C or Control V. Or you can also use the ribbon on the top to select paste. So I've copied and I've pasted my screenshot into my Word document. Because remember, you're going to be submitting a Word document with screenshots as well as descriptions. It's very important that when we take a screenshot, I don't just put a screenshot here. I should say here, the screenshot above shows the connection to my Azure virtual lab. Can you see? Virtual lab. So whenever I take any screenshot, I always have to put a description as to what the screenshot is all about and what is it actually showing. Now we know how to take a screenshot. We'll come back to this later on. I'm going to minimize this. Then I'm going inside my virtual computer now. So I'm going to maximize my Azure lab. And then from the Azure lab, I'm going to press the Windows button on the left-hand side bottom here. And I'm going to type Hyper. And this is going to open up my Hyper-V Manager, and I press Enter. So once I get into my Hyper-V Manager, I can see that there's 3 sections to the screen. I'm going to maximize it. So I can see on the left-hand side, it's got lab. In the center, it says there's details about virtual machines, but there's nothing here. On the right-hand side is some actions that I can take. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to say Virtual Machine. I'm going to go next. And what do you want to call this virtual machine? I always put my name into everything that I'm doing. Now, in your assignment, you'll see, for example, in the assignment, what does it say? In the assignment, it says, I need to create, there's the instructions here. Install the selected Windows 10 versions on the 2 machine. Rename the desktop PCs to Win 10A, Win 10B. I need to rename it to what? Suben Win 10A, Suben Win 10B. Now, no one else's name in this classroom is Suben, right? So you put your name, understood? Right? You put your name, Win 10, your name, Win 10B. Got it? Okay. If you just give me Win 10, I'm going to give 0 because I don't know if it's yours or whose work is it. So you need to put your name to prove it. Now, I'm going back to my Azure lab. And in my Azure lab, I'm going to call this one Suben Win 10A. And I'm going to go next. Generation 2. I'm going to select Generation 2. Next. I'm going to change this to 2000 megabytes of RAM. Go next. The network connection, I'm just going to leave it as the default switch for now. I'm going to go next. I'm not going to touch this. This is saying it wants to create a new hard drive. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating hardware for my virtual computer, right? I'm going to go next. Now it's going to ask, where must I get the operating system files from, right? So hardware, and then I need to get some software that contains my Windows 10 operating system. Now I'm going to say it must install from a bootable image. I'm going to click on Browse. And when I click on Browse, I can see that I've got CentOS, Fedora, Ubuntu, Windows 10 Enterprise, Windows 2016 and 2022. I'm going to select Windows 10 Enterprise. because this is the operating system that we are working with in CNOS. Okay, so I select Windows 10 and I say open. Then I go next, and now it gives me a summary of this hardware that I've created. So what I've done now is I've created virtual hardware for myself, onto which I'm going to install the Windows 10 operating system. Then I go finish. Once I've clicked on finish, you can see that if I click on my Windows 10 here, right, on the right hand side here at bottom, I can see I can connect, I can go to the settings. If I click on settings, it tells me exactly what hardware this computer has got, right? It's got memory, it's got a virtual computer, a virtual CPU, it's got a hard drive, okay? It's got a network adapter. So this is all the hardware for this virtual computer that I've created, okay? Now I'm going to click on connect to connect to that virtual computer. And this little window here is where my new virtual computer is going to be installed. I'll click on start here. Now notice on the top here, you've got some additional buttons that says stop, turn off. The next one says shut down. Next one says save. We'll show you more about this later on. Now, it says press any key to boot from the CD or DVD, and I didn't press any key, so it's stuck here, right? So what am I going to do now? I'm going to reset it. It's like pressing the reset button. Where do I go? On the top here, I can see there's a reset button for this computer. So this window that I'm moving around here is the computer that I'm installing inside this window. Then I'll press the reset button for this computer. Are you sure you want to reset? Yes, I want to reset. Now I'm going to press the enter key quickly on my keyboard. Otherwise, it's going to get stuck again. It says press any key. Before I didn't press any key, it got stuck. Now, whilst the buttons were going, the lines were going, I pressed the enter key on my keyboard. It started booting from that file that I selected earlier. Now, here, I'm going to make little changes as possible. Whatever I don't need to change, I'm not going to change. Why? I'm going to change all of this later on. So I'm going to accept all of the defaults. Defaults means whatever is there, I leave it like that. Right. I'll go next, and then I'll click on install now. What is it doing now? It's basically going and copying the files from that CD image that I had onto this computer's hard drive. That's what it's doing. So that file that contains the operating system, it's taking all those files from that image file and it's putting it onto this computer's hard drive. So that in future, I don't need that other file. I need to accept the license agreement, and I'll go next. Then I'm going to click on custom. See, upgrade is if I already had an operating system there and I want to go to this new version. Custom is I got nothing there. I want to go to the new version. So I'll click on custom. I'm not going to make any changes here. It automatically allocates exactly what hard drive space and all of that I need. So I'm going to go next. Now it actually starts the process of copying the files from the image onto this virtual computer's hard drive. Notice as well, I'm not going to be taking a screenshot of every single step that I'm going through. All I want the screenshot is of the result, of the end result. Got it? Okay. When I look at the marking rubric, the marking rubric tells me what I'm going to get marks for. If I've achieved the outcome, then only one screenshot is sufficient, is enough. Okay. So whilst this is going on now, if I wanted to take a screenshot of this virtual computer, what would I do? I would minimize it on the top here. Okay. So now this one is my Azure lab, And inside my Azure lab, I've got this virtual computer that's running. Can you see? Right? So if I wanted a screenshot, I need to come out and I'll need to go to my snipping tool here and I'll say new. And then I can drag across from the top here down here like this. And you see on the top, it says Windows 10, Subain Windows 10A on lab. So when I'm taking the screenshot, I'm taking a screenshot that has my name in it. That's proving this is my work. Got it? And then I go into my Word document and then I can, now this is not required. I'm just doing it for demo purposes. So I can press the control key, hold it down, press the letter V. It's going to paste in my image. And then I can type the description, installation of Win 10 client operating system. Right? So at the bottom here, you can see whenever I take a screenshot, I say installation of Windows 10 client operating system. Now, immediately from now, you start creating your assignment document. How to create my assignment document? I go into Word and I say blank document. Actually, I'm going to go to my OneDrive and I'm going to create it from my OneDrive so that it is always stored in your OneDrive account. There's no such thing as, oh, I don't have my assignment document because it's on my flash drive, it's on my laptop, it's on my phone. Everything should be in the cloud so that you can access it from any device. So where do I go again? We've shown it to you in the previous video, but I'm doing this whilst this virtual computer is loading. So I go to my online version of Word, or I can go here, right? So from here, I go to Word. And I say blank document. And then I go file. Now on the top here, it says there's the name of the file. I'm working on the online version that everyone has, right? And what is this file called? This is my assignment one, okay? So I'm going to say Subain CNOS assignment one. And I can even put my student number, okay? Press enter. So in Word, I've created this assignment document. File, create a copy, save it, etc. So it's going to be auto-saved in my documents. Where do I get my documents? If I go here, and if I go to my OneDrive, I can see there's my files. And in my files, I've got documents. Okay, it should store it here. If it's not storing it here, then I'll go to my file and I'll create a folder called CNOS. Do I have a folder CNOS? No. So I'm going to say add new folder and I'm going to say CNOS 5112 create, and I'm going to put all my CNOS work inside this folder that I've just created. So there's my CNOS 5112. I clicked on it. It says the folder is empty. Then I'll say add new Word document. And then what's the document? Subain CNOS 5112 assignment 1 and my student number. And I press enter. And then I can even put a screenshot in there, right? And I'm going to save this. So it should auto save here. But let me see now in my OneDrive. There's my OneDrive. Can you see there's my OneDrive? and I can see there's the document that has been created. So you create this document today, and two places you're going to put your screenshots, right? One place to mark register, and for ISTAS, you're going to put it in discussion forum. Next place, here in the Word document, because this is the document you're going to be using to complete your assignment. Got it? Now let me go back and see what is the progress of my Hyper-V. So it says it's rebooting now. So I can maximize the screen here, and I'm back into my Azure lab. Inside my Azure lab, I can see I'm working with this virtual computer in this window. I can go here and I can change this. It should allow me to change this date time, I think. Adjust date time. And we are currently in South Africa, Harare, Pretoria. And I can close that. So it's reflecting the correct time, date here. And then there's my virtual computer. So I'm going to do the installation of the first virtual computer. Remember, you're going to do this twice, right? So in the demo, I'm only doing the installation of the first virtual computer. Exactly the same way I'm doing the first virtual computer, you're going to also do the second one, but instead of Windows 10A, you're going to call it Windows 10B. Got it? Okay, which region am I in? I'm in South Africa. So I'm going to select South Africa, and then I'm going to go yes. Keyboard layout, I'm going to leave as US. I'm going to go yes. Add a second keyboard layout. I'm going to skip. Remember also, with most of these apps and operating systems, there's always more than one way to do any task. I'm only showing you one way, right? When you are doing it, you might find other ways if you look at other videos, or if you look at online tutorials, or if you look at the Microsoft website, or if you look at Learn or your textbook. There's multiple ways to accomplish each of these tasks. Okay, so moving on now. Moving on, I can see here that it's come up with sign in with a Microsoft account, worker school account, right? What I'm going to do here is I don't want this here. So I'm just going to go next and see what it says. Sign in with security key. Which account should I use? Sign in with username and password. Let me see. If I click join domain instead, what does it do? Who's going to use this PC? Okay, so I'm going to use it. So I say Subain. I'll go next. Create a memorable password. So remember your password should be uppercase, lowercase, and special characters. So that makes it a complex password. So you choose your password. Then it's going to prompt us to go through security questions. So I'm going to select my security questions. Okay, so it says privacy settings. I'm just going to accept all of the privacy settings that it has. I can also maximize the screen here if I wish, and then I can restore it down like this. So this is the process now of installing the Windows 10 client operating system. Remember that all of your ICE activities and then also, so it's going to say connect. So I'm going to say connect. So it's rebooted and it's connecting again. All of my ICE activities and class registers is under discussion forum. So here from learn, when I go into learn, I'll select my module. So this is CNOS HSS HCSS Group 1. On the left-hand side, under discussions here, is where I'm going to find most of my ICE activities. Now, if it does not appear on the top, right, it will appear at the bottom of the list here. So the ICE activity and the activity to mark the register for today, I'm going to create it for you. And this is installation of Win 10A and Win 10B. You're going to put in your screenshots of both of them here. So this was for CNOS HCSS Group 1. And then also this is July intake. And then I'm going to do for the Jan intake. CNOS Group 1 Jan intake. Discussions. Create forum. So you can see here, when I click on discussions on the left-hand side, it will be either at the top or if I scroll down, I can see it right at the bottom, installation of Windows 10A and 10B. So once I've done the installation, I'll go in here and then I'll need to create a thread and then I'll show you what to do just now. Let me go back to my virtual computer here. There I can see I'm going to log in. When I've logged in now, I can see this is my new virtual computer that I've logged into. I'm still not done with question 1 because it says install and rename the computer. To rename the computer now, I'm going to right click on the start button here. So I right click, it comes up with the menu. I'm going to go to system and under system, I can see it says rename this PC. So I'm going to rename this PC. The current name is desktop. I'm going to call it Zubain Win 10A. And then I'm going to say next. It's going to ask to restart. So I'm going to restart the computer. Once it is restarted, I'm then going to take the screenshot to prove I have done the installation and I have renamed it. Okay? So there's two places I'm going to paste the screenshot. The first one is in my ICE activity. Next one is in my assignment document. Okay? So as we are going along, you are doing your assignment and you are doing your ICE. So then I'm going to log in after it's rebooted. Once it is logged in now, I'm going to do what I did just now again. I'm going to right click on my start and I'm going to go back to system. And now you can see, can you see here, device name? It says Suben 10A. I'm ready now to take my screenshot. How do I take my screenshot? I'm going to restore here so that I got this in this window here. Then I go to my snipping tool and I say new. I'm going to drag across from here to here. So I can see there on the top it's saying Windows, Suben Windows 10A computer. And then inside here I can see it's also saying Windows 10A, Suben Windows 10A. This is the screenshot I'm going to put in my assignment document. So where did I save my assignment document? This was the Azure Lab document. I'm going to go to my assignment document. Let me open my assignment document so that I know that I'm working in the correct document. So I'm going to go into, right, there's it here. It says Suben CNOS assignment. Delete it. And I'm going to say activity 2.1. I'm going to paste my screenshot here. And then I'm going to say the Windows 10A install and rename to Suben Win 10A. Right? So I put it into my assignment document already. So question 2.1 is half complete. Can you see? Then I need to go and put it into my ICE. So I go to the forum here. I click on discussions. I scroll down until I find installation of Windows 10A and 10B. I create a thread. I say Win 10 installation. And then I'm going to click in here and I'm going to paste. So it says local images have been removed from the paste content, right? So I can't just go paste. So if I need to attach a file in here, let's see if it allows me to do this. Yes. So I can say plus, and then I can say insert local file, and then I can select a file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save it. Does it allow me any other way to paste pictures here? Let's just see. That's copy, this is paste. No, it's not allowing me to paste directly in. So I have to save it locally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it in my assignment document and I'm going to paste my assignment document here. Got it? So in other words, what am I saying? On my local computer, I can create in my documents, new Word document, and I can say Win 10 installation. I open this document and then I put it in here. I save it. And then I'm going to go back to my ICE activity and I'm going to click on the plus sign here. Insert local file. I'm going to go to my documents. There's Windows 10 installation. I'm going to open it. And I'm going to submit it here. Or alternatively, I could have clicked on browse local files. Right? So one of the two. Either you can install it, you can insert it like this, or you can click on browse local files and you can attach it. So there's the Win 10 installation. Right, and I can see if I click on the Word document, it will open it up for me, or it's going to download it for me. If I open the downloaded document, I can see there's the proof that I've completed the activity. And that concludes this demo.